So this video is going to give you actionable steps to get your first AI agency clients. There's a lot of videos on this topic, and what I've noticed is most of it's pretty vague slash general. The reason for that is because honestly anything can work and everything does work. You just need to know how to work it. And the thing is, when you're starting out, at least when I was starting out, I didn't know how to work any marketing channel. I didn't know how to do anything to get my first AI agency client. So I'm giving this video as like some steps you can just start off with, like a launch pad for you to get started. And from there, take that wherever you want based on your expertise, what you enjoy, and what's working for you. Anyway, let's get started. So realize that the first client's literally the hardest, right? Like if you don't already know this, the amount of effort, like it's going to take you 20, 30, 50, maybe even 100 hours to get that first client. But after you get that first client and that first case study, every single client after that becomes easier, right? Like think of it this way. If somebody were to come to you and say, I want to work for you, but I've had zero experience, would you even entertain them the time? Like would you even give them a chance? Most of the time, especially if you're a business owner, like the answer is going to be typically no. And it's a pretty reasonable thing if you actually think about it. But my point here is when you're first starting out, there's going to be like this wall here. And this wall is going to be in the form of like mental objections like, am I worth this much money? Or can I even do this? Or like, what if it doesn't work out? Like there's just so much like fake stuff, and it's normal, right? That is a mental block. When you get that first client, you're going to realize that this wall never actually existed. So that's the goal of this video, help you get your first client, because that is the only thing that matters. Like that is the constraint of your business. You need to wake up and think, how can I get my first client? If you're doing anything but this, you're most likely wasting your time, because you need to go from entrepreneur to entrepreneur. And like this is, I hope I'm driving the point home. This is the goal to that. In terms of actually getting that first client, there's only 4 ways to acquire new clients, and this is like the general framework from $100 million leads. There's warm outreach, cold outreach, content, and paid ads. Paid ads, like we're not paying for these things. Like you probably, if you're starting out, you probably don't have money, and even if you do, it just takes a significant amount of money to get these things working. So this is knocked off, obviously. Warm outreach, I'm gonna make the assumption you've already reached out to friends, family, relatives, maybe previous people you've worked with, followers on social media. None of it has worked. For me, it actually did not work. I know they say that, you know, if you reach out to all your people, all the people that you know, something will work out. But I even had emails of business owners from my time in business consulting, and they all still said no. So that leaves us with cold outreach and content. I'm going to go more into detail below, but the problem with content is that it takes you anywhere from 4 to 5 months to even see any results. And like again, like those actions are not helping you get your first client. So that's why I recommend cold outreach. All right, so what now? Like you understand the problem, you understand like the high level framework. What do you have to do? The answer is pretty simple. Learn a traffic channel. And when I say traffic channel, what I would personally recommend is cold email, cold call, and content. And this is something that I think everybody would recommend when you're starting off with. One thing, like one high level mindset thing you need to kind of keep in the back of your mind, at least this is something that's worked for me, is all the people that I know that are making more than $50,000 per month, they're all experts in all 3 of these. And when I say experts, I mean that they can send out cold email as good as a cold email agency. They can cold call people as good as like a salesman, and they make content. Like they have some kind of following, and they're all competent in all 3 of these categories. So if this is like a blocker for you, if you're like, I don't want to learn cold email, first of all, you need traffic. If you just put a website right now, you're not going to get any traffic. Like you need to find a way for people to see that you exist. Like you offer AI services. And that is what these 3 things are going to do. So realize you need to do it anyway, is what I'm trying to say here. Like, even if you decide to switch business, even if you go from AI to like marketing or like financing, I don't know, something, cold email is something you can still use in that business. So this is like a skill you're developing for the rest of your life. Think of it this way. Like if you learn how to cold email, you can literally reach out to any person in this world that has a business, because everybody has emails. And finding the email, like there's plenty of lists online. If there's not lists, then there's ways to actually figure out the email. So this is like a lifelong skill. That's the way you want to think about this. For cold email specifically, I noticed that the YouTube content kind of sucked. Like there was no video that got me from knowing nothing about cold email to knowing everything I need to know to get started, which is kind of surprising, to be honest with you. So what I did was I just bought a bunch of courses. Recently, I landed upon the Cold Email Mastery School, and I used this actually to set up my domains using Outlook. But as I was going through the course, I was like, wow, this is pretty good. Like it's a pretty exhaustive guide on everything you need to know. So, and it was actually better than some of the paid stuff that I had bought as well. So I would recommend join the Cold Email Mastery School. It's not affiliated. Like I'm just going to copy paste the school link. That's like everybody can see. And that should arm you with everything you need to know to get started with cold email. And it's going to take you anywhere from like, I don't know, 20 to 40 hours to actually set this up and actually watch the videos and like absorb everything, right? Don't watch it for the sake of watching it. Learn the skill itself, learn what they're doing, and try to emulate. What this course is going to tell you is that you need to send out 100 to 500 cold emails per day. I would personally recommend keeping it super, super personalized. So this doesn't work if you want to get the max amount of clients. But again, we're just trying to focus on getting that one client. And the increasing likelihood of getting that one client means writing emails that are super, super personalized. If you just mass send for everyone and you don't even have an offer, it's not going to work. If you write highly personalized cold emails, and when I say highly personalized, I mean like for a lead, look at their LinkedIn, look at their company website, look at their most recent post on every single social media platform, see if they have any podcasts or YouTube videos, go on those. And based off all of that information, you send out an email that's personalized to them, right? Like the litmus test is that email cannot apply to anyone else. So when you're starting out, it's going to take you actually closer to like 30 to 40 minutes, and it goes down to 20 minutes as you get better with it. And it's a lot of work. Like, I'm not going to lie. I spent a lot of time doing this. The good news is when you do this, when you send out like even like 300, 400 cold emails in this format, you're going to learn so much about this whole field right here of cold email. Like you're going to learn the different angles. You're going to learn like the different ways of cold emailing, what works, what does not work. There's going to be so much testing and so much time in this craft. You're automatically going to get good at this skill. And after you do this thing, at least for me, I noticed like mass sending the cold emails was not a problem. Like it doesn't go both ways. If you do this thing, then you get better at cold email as a whole. But if you mass send, you're not going to get as good, because the thing is you're not getting feedback. Like, that's the thing. Like if you do this thing, you're going to get a higher reply rate. Like more people are going to reply to your email even if it's a no. And when you get that reply, you're going to start to see what is working and what is not working, compared to something like this where you're going to get like the max reply rate you're going to get is, let's say, like 3%. That's considered amazing. So it's maybe like 1%. And with that 1%, you have no idea what is, like, there's no way to A/B test, you know? So that's the actual two steps for this. So this course will maybe take you like 30 hours. And this thing I would recommend doing 4 hours per day. So yeah, it's kind of awful, but it works. Second is cold call. So this is as simple as just call small businesses. Like go on Google Maps, search up local businesses, and go one by one and just dial the phone, right? That's it. And a little pro tip there is search that company name on LinkedIn and see how many employees they have. If they have anywhere from 1 to 5 employees, there's a high chance that the person picking up the phone is going to be a decision maker, like typically the business owner. If it's more than 5 employees, then it's going to be like a staff member or like an assistant or something. And like the key skill here is sales, right? And you can learn that sales skills, but I'm just trying to give you like, again, like the goal is to get that first client. So if you just call smaller businesses, the likelihood of you getting to a business owner is going to be much higher. And if you get on a call with the business owner, the likelihood of you signing a client is much higher, even if you give free work, right? Like with all of this, just do free work and get that first client so you get that first case study. Realize you're going to suck. Like it's going to be awkward. You're going to get on the phone and you're going to be like, you're going to stutter. Your heart's going to race. You're just going to say stuff that doesn't make sense. And that's all normal. Like you need to just put the reps in. I still suck at this, right? Cold calling was not the channel I built my AI business through. It was actually cold email. If it makes you feel any better, like I still suck at this. I think in total, I've only done like 300, 400 cold calls in my life. Cold email is the way I built Applied GPT, my AI business. But this thing also works. It's just that like sales is not something I'm naturally good at. And this is something I just had a natural affinity towards. Like I found this more interesting, so that's what I did. I'm just trying to lay out the options here for you. And for training, like I think you can just go on a couple YouTube videos and see what it takes to cold call, like what it actually entails, what you should do, frame, and things of that sort. But most of the learning that you're going to get out of, I mean, it's really both of these, is going to be through doing the actual work. You're going to kind of fall in the trap of, you're not going to think it's procrastinating, but it is procrastinating by watching videos on how to cold email or cold call. That like it's not going to help you. You need to just learn the skill. You need to like put yourself in the water, like jump in the water and start doing it. That is, despite it being more work, that is going to be the quickest way for you to get your first client and get better at these skills, not looking at courses. And the final mechanism is content. I don't know if this is like a bit of a controversial take here, but when you're just starting out, I wouldn't recommend content because it's going to take anywhere from 4 to 5 months for you to even like see a book call in your calendar. That's half a year of you not signing a client. Right? And the argument people make here is that the journey of the come up is as exciting as the one who made it. And I'm sure that's true. I am following people that are still on their journey, and like that is me right now making this content. I'm giving you the shortcut to build your AI business. That is the value. That is why you're watching. If you're just starting out on ground zero, you kind of don't have any value in the AI space specifically. But sure, you can post like some of the stuff you're learning about AI, and sure, it's kind of useful. But the objective here is to get that first client, and like maybe after you get a few clients, you can start doing this on the side. But like this thing is a grind. Like you're gonna need to post every single day for half a year and expect nothing in return. So I personally wouldn't recommend this for that reason. It's just extremely slow, right? And like for context, I did actually build up my Twitter when I was early in my business. I got it from 0 to 100 followers. Actually, I think it was like 95 followers, but I got 0 clients from that, and I was spending like 2 hours per day. And that's while I was still trying to get more clients. You see how there's just like a bunch of skills that I was trying to figure out at once, but this thing at that time wasn't giving me a high enough ROI. So that's why I would recommend cold email and cold call. Cold email is what's worked for me, but just giving you some options out there. Now that we've gone over the actionable steps to get your first client, like these are the steps you need to take to get that first client. One thing you may be wondering is, what about the fulfillment? Like what happens if a client says yes to you, but you don't know how to do the thing that they're asking for? The answer is to just do it. Like it's just that simple. You need to get into the trenches and make it clear, like you don't know how to do this thing, but you'll figure it out, right? If you just keep it honest, like I think most people will respect that. And don't charge when you're starting. Like keep it for free, or maybe say like after I get this thing done, then I'm gonna charge this amount of money, which should be like a very low amount of money. Because when you're starting out, you need to optimize for testimonials and case studies, not to make money. So I want to give you some actionable steps here. I don't want to just say like go do your thing. So here are, like, if you're still struggling, if you're like, I still want to know a little bit before I get started, here are some action steps. So I'm putting you in 2 buckets: if you know how to code versus if you don't know how to code. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Like most of the companies, AI companies that are making money are some kind of custom solutions development agency, like some kind of custom AI that they're building for their client. And that's just me being real with you guys. Like even if you look at not just the top players on YouTube, but the people like that have been in the AI business before this whole ChatGPT thing, they're all custom solutions agencies. Like you have to give a custom solution because every client has a different problem. So that's my little rant. But if you know how to code, the good news for you is all you need to do is learn the Gen AI fundamentals. And this book right here, I'm going to link it down below. It's not an affiliate link, like just copy pasted it from Amazon. This will give you like a good enough high level understanding of the different pieces of building a custom Gen AI solution. And like I think that should be enough for you to get started. Another note is, when I say you need to know how to code, if you know how to use Python and like understand and read Python, you're more than fine. You don't need to be like a developer. You don't need to like most libraries are written in Python, and you can just use ChatGPT to help you out. Like you can learn as you're going as well. So that's on this side. If you don't know how to code, then the no-code chatbot builder way will probably be the best. The reason is because no-code chatbots still give a lot of value to clients. Like there's still plenty of money to be made. There's a lot of people that want this thing, but there's not as many people who are providing it. So I think this will still work out for you. Like again, we're just trying to get that first client. Maybe after you get this no-code chatbot builder, you'll realize like you can use make automations to further enhance the project. Like this is just a starting point. That's all I'm trying to do here. Give you actionable steps. So use VoiceFlow. I've tried VoiceFlow, BotPress, Stack AI, and all of them. VoiceFlow is the one that I've noticed is the best. And if you actually go on their website here, these guys have been around way before this whole ChatGPT revolution, and the top players like Louis Vuitton, State Farm, Amazon, BMW as well, I think. All of these guys are using this thing, so just use what's already working and use YouTube to learn how to build these things. Like there's plenty of videos online on how to use VoiceFlow to make money. In terms of concrete action steps, spend 20 hours on each of these concepts. Like read this book for 20 hours or just watch 20 hours of VoiceFlow on YouTube, and you'll know more about Gen AI than the average person. And from there, go straight to marketing. You don't want to be stuck on this phase too much, because it's very easy with AI specifically to get stuck into the research and like the fact that there's something new going on every single day. It doesn't matter. We're not trying to be AI experts here. We're trying to build a business here. Like we're trying to make money here. And the way you make money is by getting clients and fulfilling them using AI services. So once you have a base understanding, like you know more about AI than the average person, and 20 hours should get you there if you actually spend 20 hours. go straight to this. So that'll sum it up for this video. I know it was a lot more tactical. People don't like doing this with the fear that we're boxing people in. And I know I'm boxing you in, but it's on purpose so that you can start somewhere. With that being said, I hope this was of value to you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment any questions you guys have. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.